We'll get this meeting underway. Joyce, if you'll call the roll, please.
Mayor Durham. Councilmember Moore. Councilmember Severe.
Present.
Councilmember Fox.
Present.
Councilmember Williams.
Present.
We have 3 present. We have a quorum.
All right, the meeting called to order. We'll start as usual with prayer and the Pledge of Allegiance. Jamie, if you don't mind, lead us in a word of prayer. And Ronald, lead us in the pledge, please.
Let us pray. Dear Lord, we thank you for an opportunity to serve you and serve the citizens of Lawrenceburg. Help us to do your will in carrying out these duties. In God's name we pray. Amen.
Salute the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next in line would be the approval of the meeting, March 8th.
Motion to
minutes.
approve previous meeting.
Got a motion to approve.
Second.
A second. Any opposition? None. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Minutes are carried. We have a guest here today. It's Ann Alford. She's going to speak to us for a few minutes. Mr. Bobby Alford's with her, I think.
Yeah, I'm going to introduce my dear sister.
All right.
Ann Alford is here to speak to you gentlemen. I really don't know what she's going to say, but I'll tell you a little something about her. She's a graduate of Lawrence County High School, MTSU, and has a master's from Troy State, and it's music, all of it in music. And she has been teaching, directing bands in various and sundry high schools in Georgia for the last 36 years. And now she's retired, and she wants to speak to y'all. Have at it.
Well, that was short.
Well, I can tell some more. There's a lot of stuff.
You
I
need
can
to
tell.
sit down.
That's interesting.
I was at the Christmas parade in Lawrenceburg, and this band parent and student came up to me and asked me if I would be interested in starting a community band in Lawrence County. And I said, well, I might. And I waited about 2 weeks and hadn't heard from anybody, so I thought, you know, that wasn't anything. And then they called. So I dug into it. And brother has tried to do it, but y'all know he never played in a band. He had a ball he had to chase, and he's the county historian, I think.
He chased a lot of us around too.
I'm sure he did.
I'm almost scared to come here today.
He did find, when this all started, that to start a community band in Lawrence County is not a first. There was one before us. And Bobby passed it around.
Pass this around and let y'all see the.
And they also had a,
That was during the James D. Vaughn era,
pass that around too.
and this is a smaller version.
The first time we met, I had 3 people there.
This one's a rhythm band? No, it's not the
No,
rhythm band.
it's a brass, woodwind percussion band. Anyway, the first time we met, we had 3 people to show up. I even counted brother on that. And the second meeting, I think we might have had 4. Now we have 18.
Wow.
And they are really sounding good. And it, being a band director all these years, you know, you're going to have good nights, your band do good, and then there's nights and they don't do good. And when they do good, I'd always just get higher than Georgia Pine. It would just tickle me to death, and that's what's happened with this group. A couple of the rehearsals we've had with these 18 have put me in a high, so I'm ready to go with it. We're also going to have some smaller groups, like a clarinet quartet and a saxophone I couldn't believe the saxophones the other night. And I said, I got to get something for them, so I've got some special music coming probably today. And we have no funds. Now, I'm not asking you for money. Y'all be glad to know that. But we'll take anything you want to give us. We needed a place to rehearse. And one of the schools would have been ideal, especially Lawrence County High School. But we had to have an insurance policy, a liability insurance policy. Well, one of our members, one of the three the original members, went out that night and got enough donations to buy us a half a year of what am I trying to say? Liability insurance. So we are covered to go into the schools, which is a very good thing. What I'd like to ask you to do, I need some places to perform. And I know this is what I'm looking at, possibility to have a spring concert, which we're working on right now. Have a 4th of July patriotic performance. Perhaps have Oktoberfest. I'm not real sure what kind of music. I can't let them all get drunk and dance. So, and then the Christmas. Now, would you be willing to sponsor those type of concerts? It's a community thing, and I feel like that everybody needs to be on board with it. I think the gazebo up on the square is an ideal place to do a concert, perhaps 4th of July. Do you have plans for 4th of July, any kind of celebration?
That's April. She books, April Judkins books the gazebo.
She's the Main Street Director.
Main Street Director.
And we do have plans for the 4th of July. This year, the Chamber is going to be working with us as well, in addition to the fireworks show, which we will have on the Saturday night prior to the 4th of July. There's also going to be more of a festival atmosphere like we've had in the past, with different events planned by the Chamber for the 4th of July. A concert may be in the works, so I'm not sure exactly at this point what is planned. It's a little bit early for that, but Ethan might can speak to what the Chamber's looking at.
Well, just to restate what you said, the Freedom Fest is what it's being billed as, will be held on Saturday, June 30th. And it really is in a formative stage right now, so it's a good time to be having these discussions about what elements are in it. We're working towards music and using the athletic fields at the high school, having food and vendors there, like with what happened with the Bicentennial Festival last August. There's plenty of room for expansion of that. So I'm not sure in that area where would be a good place for a band setup, but I'm sure there is one. If that's something that you wanted to pursue.
Could we have a little concert? I know on Memorial Day, when we have a program down here at the City Hall, at the police station, we usually just have a speaker, and to be honest with you, most times it doesn't last too long. Maybe you could throw in a little music on that.
I don't think there'd be any problems doing something like that. You know, we've always tried to allow that on an occasional basis when we have an event like that, so I don't know that there would be any problems.
Okay. And that is Memorial Day you're talking about? See, I need to give the members of the band some dates to hang on to.
Memorial Day, they have a pretty good band deal and have crosses out and all that stuff. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes, and just whenever the band would like to perform, and we'll work, whether it's the 4th of July, like Ethan was mentioning, at the athletic field, you know, where we have a lot of those types of events, or whether it be Memorial Day, but we'll be glad to work with you any way we can.
Well, that would be wonderful. But you know what I'm trying to do now are get dates, and you've just given me two.
Well, Veterans Day, we usually have a Veterans Day parade, and of course it's in November and the weather can be anyway, you know, but, if they didn't have anything for the gazebo that day, you might have something on the square that day, 'cause usually there's a big crowd for the Veterans Day Parade.
Y'all, can Chris and y'all get together and figure out the
Absolutely.
dates?
I'll be glad to work with you any way we can, and if you have specific dates or events that you want to try to incorporate the band with, we'll be glad to look at what's available.
Well, you know, I'm looking at possibly 4 concerts. Part of our members are students and part are adults, which they have to get off work and all to do that. I'll send you this picture of our group. It's rather small. Bobby, pass that around to
And do you have a maximum number of people that you'd take in the group?
150. Any of y'all played in the band before?
One of the things that
I was thinking about, could Bobby be the drum or something?
No, he wants to sing, but I wouldn't allow that.
Fox, me and Fox sang a duet.
Well, I'm not sure of that either.
That wouldn't be a good idea.
Well, the council is supportive, and,
Yes, yes.
Like Vice Mayor said, if you get together with Chris, he can work out the 4 dates with you along with April. They can coordinate something for you and get something.
Okay, that'll be great.
And I love music. Can I come listen to the rehearsal?
You most certainly can.
I'd like to know the dates on that.
Every
Every
Monday
Monday.
night over at Lawrence County High School Band Room, they'll be a beating.
There you go. 6 to 8. 6:30 a
They'd
day.
be glad to have you come, I guess.
I just hope they're a little
I
better
might
than the
drop in
Mayberry RFD's band.
On occasions we are. I won't swear by it. No, I have been very impressed with what I'm getting.
Right.
And it's been real funny. Usually when you have these things, there's certain instruments that you don't get enough of, so you have to cheat a little bit, you know. And like you may not get enough clarinets, you may not get enough saxophones, you may not get enough drummers, and I've got enough of all of that. Even a bass clarinet player that moved here from Oklahoma, and immediately wanted to get with the group.
See, she's doing some recruiting.
Yeah. So anything y'all can do will be most appreciated.
We'll do our best.
And
Thank
who
you
is
for
going to
coming today.
contact me?
Appreciate it.
This gentleman right
You
here.
can just call me here at City Hall anytime, ma'am, and we'll
Okay.
be glad to discuss whatever dates.
Bobby knows.
I'm her, what's my,
Agent.
I'm her agent.
Agent, there you go.
You are. Well, you ain't getting paid.
I just don't want to be the drone.
And we appreciate y'all coming today.
Well, appreciate y'all's consideration, and it is a good thing, and it's a community thing. And I'm trying to get folks from around surrounding counties even to come and participate in this.
Right.
I know we have one person from Huntsville, and possibly the second one from Huntsville is coming this week.
One from Huntsville, by the way, went to school to her when she was in high school. I'll add one thing and then we'll leave. One place that she has been, they even have an Ann Alford Day. I don't know when they're gonna have it, but, so she's a lot better than me in most things, but I guess, have you said all you want to say? Y'all
Yeah.
any more questions?
Any questions?
What time do y'all start your rehearsal on Monday?
6:30?
You wouldn't mind having a little press coverage, would you?
No.
I
Joe,
think LaShawn would be interested in that.
Didn't Joe used to be in the band, didn't you? I thought you did.
No, I had a rock band.
This, we even have our own
Logo.
logo.
Well, now I know where you can get some T-shirts printed up, some
Okay.
band uniforms.
Right, we're actually, band director, some band is supposed to be working on that.
There's their logo. So, okay, we're glad to have y'all, and
Glad y'all come.
I hope that we get on Lawrenceburg now, or whatever.
Thank you, Bob.
Yeah, you want them back?
Yeah.
I guess you want them back, I don't know.
Yeah.
I thought surely she'd let y'all keep them, but that's the way she is.
It's amazing, since I've come back to Lawrenceburg, of course, I was born and raised here too. But people say, are you kin to Bobby Alford? And I said, not unless I have to.
We appreciate y'all inviting us,
Yes.
and
You're quite welcome.
in fact, anytime you want to have somebody to talk, I'll be glad.
How long have you been retired, Miss Alford?
About 6 years. And obviously, I'm not in 100% health, but I keep moving.
There you go.
And the band has accepted that quite freely
Well,
with
good
me.
luck to you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm having to play a lot of stuff that I remember because I can't see. Bobby and I both have a vision problem.
Yep.
And so did our mother. And y'all probably, some of y'all probably remember our mother, who was quite a musician,
Yep.
and our grandfather. So I don't. He didn't get any of it.
Miss Birdie Bell?
Miss
Yeah.
Birdie Bell.
Yeah.
You need some help?
Nope. Thank y'all very much.
Thank you. So you was in a band,
Yeah,
then,
I
weren't
think her
you?
flutophone.
Who, me?
No,
Recorder.
Joe was in
I
Miss
took
Birdie
music
Bell's
from
band.
the
Well,
fourth
Joe,
grade.
just come on.
What did you play, Joe?
I played pitch pipe.
You played what? Pitch pipe?
He
I
can play the triangle.
I have Fred Abrams as
I'm not
trumpet.
very good at
Can
playing.
you
He was
play
a
it? I need some
Anyway,
trumpet players.
band.
Okay, thank y'all.
If Fox, if you want to learn to play, come on.
I'm afraid I'm too old to be taught now.
I'm afraid that.
Get a hold of Paul Plan, he'll sing for you.
Yeah.
Now, I've been talking to Paul.
I'm good.
All right,
Thank y'all. Bye.
we'll move on then, and I don't know of any announcements or anything, so I'm gonna turn it over to Chris, the city administrator.
You reckon they need any help out?
I was wondering which one of them driving. But
I'd
we'll,
say she is, I
We
hope.
may have somebody else that wants to
Yeah,
address the council.
Jerry, ask them.
Okay. As far as announcements, the only thing I had this morning is a reminder that we've got the Whispering Bill Anderson concert tonight at Crockett Theater. I'm not sure how many tickets are left. I'm fairly certain that there are tickets available. Just contact the Parks and Recreation Department, or I think they're available at the door.
I don't think there's many left. And I've heard that it's gonna be a pretty full crowd.
And that's all I have this morning. I don't have a department manager report.
All right, with no old business to mention, I'll turn it over to Mr. Alan Betts, city attorney.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. First matter is a resolution of the Board of Mayor and Council of the City of Lawrenceburg to authorize the Lawrenceburg Fire Department to purchase an F-800 Ford diesel truck with a 450 Hale pump, 1,800 gallon tank. Purchase is from the Henryville Volunteer Fire Department for $10,000. And that's for consideration today.
Motion to approve.
Got a motion
Second
to
it.
approve and a second. Any discussion? No discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? That resolution carries.
Next, a resolution of the Board of Mayor and Council of the City of Lawrenceburg to declare certain property in the police department acquired through the Department of Defense as surplus to be disposed of in accordance with Lawrenceburg purchasing policy. And that is for your consideration.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay. Got a motion and a second. Any discussion on this?
If they get $1 an item, they're gonna have quite a bit of money.
Y'all continue to get a lot of this stuff, don't you? I know you've sold some already. It's turned out pretty good, hasn't it? All right, any more discussion on this? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? That resolution is done.
Next, a resolution of the Board of Mayor and Council of the City of Lawrenceburg to declare certain property in the police department as surplus to be sold at auction on the web. This is dealing with 3 vehicles, and that's for your consideration today.
Motion to approve.
Second it.
Motion and a second. Any discussion on this? No discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? That resolution carries. That's all I see here. Unless Mr. Betts got anything else.
That's it for me, Mr. Vice Mayor.
All right.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second it.
This meeting's over.